had the experience of living my dream and getting paid for it.
History in the making.
Hold you back. Do not let challenges hold you back. Nothing should hold you back.
I'm Giovanni Willis, and probably in 2000 I began to become very ill consistently. Always had infections. And my physician at the time was a fabulous internist, and she said, I think something more sinister is going on. 4 months on antibiotics is not normal, and we don't see any end in sight. And then finally referred me on to the University of Colorado Cancer Research Center, because they're a research hospital. And at the University of Colorado, they then forwarded me on to the Mayo Clinic in Minnesota. And it was then, I think this was probably in late 2000, that I got the diagnosis that I had what's called chronic LGL leukemia. And that means that my body basically kills off its own white blood cells. And your white blood cells are your immune system. Fortunately, there was a new drug on the market that is an injectable drug, whereby I could inject myself with thousands of white blood cells that would allow me to function during the day until my body killed them off. The downside, or the side effect of those injections, is enormous bone pain. And so I would take these injections, or I still do, I take them every other day. And on those shot days, as I've come to call them, in the past, before Visalus, I would be flat out. The pain, I would certainly take all kinds of painkillers. I would do whatever it took, and I would do bare minimum things. I would take care of my children, make sure they got to school, and lay on the couch or sleep, or just try to endure that shot day, knowing that the next day would be my day that I could live a normal life again. Yeah, that I could function. After Visalus, 2 or 3 days being on Visalus, the bone pain went away. Went away. It still floors me. I've been on Visalus now for 2 or 3 months, and it hasn't returned. I can make plans for every single day of the week instead of every other day. I feel like a normal human being. And I don't want to be overly dramatic, but Visalus gave me my life back. I feel like I am a normal function.
Hi, my name is Rhonda Lucero from Lincoln, Nebraska, and I am here to tell you just a little bit about how Visalus Sciences products have impacted my life. 17 years ago I was in a really bad car accident and was basically given a 12% disability rating on my body and all the things that I was going to be able to do in the future. And for 17 years I lived with excruciating pain throughout my body, and was basically told that I had to have fibromyalgia forever, and I was just going to have to live with it. So day in and day out, I lived through the struggles, through getting up in the mornings and having aches and pains throughout my body, having to bend over and just stretch every day. And then I was told about a company called Visalus Sciences and their amazing anti-aging product called the ViPack. I started on that, and within 60 days, all of my pain was completely gone. I was so ecstatic. I just jumped out of bed one morning and went, oh my gosh, I just can't believe it. I don't hurt anymore.
So I did it. I called her on the way up and I said, Mom, I'm on I-25. I'm coming up. And I was bawling. And she's like, what is going on? I said, you just have to wait. I'm coming up because I want to change your life, because I love you and I care about you. And I'm going to let her tell you what happened.
Okay, hi everybody. I'm so glad to be here. This is so awesome. I just want to tell you that. Stacy walked in my door that night. She hugged me and started crying, and I thought, what is going on? I knew she'd been at the Visalus convention, And so when we finally got settled down, we sat down and she started telling me about Visalus and was so enraptured about all of the lives that she saw changed from the people talking just like I am right now to you. And she showed me the products and I thought, I've got to do this. I'm a big girl. And I've always kind of been a big girl. I'm also a chocolate-holic. Yay! Yeah. But I got diabetes, type 2 diabetes, and I couldn't believe it. And in November, first part of November, my doctor said, Barb, you have to go on insulin. I had fought it and fought it. I said, okay. So I started on the product mid-March, and mid-April, I went to my doctor and had, all the blood sugar tests and everything doctors make you go through. He came running into the office, you're a rock star, you're a rock star. And I'm going, what? All of my sugar levels, my triglycerides, my cholesterol levels were perfect. I started at 32 units of insulin in mid-March. June 18th, I emailed my doctor my blood sugars. By then, I was down to 5 units of insulin. He emailed me back and he said, Barb, I don't want you to take insulin anymore. And I'm off insulin. Yes.
I've been heavy my entire life, weighed 660 at my worst. It's hard as it is to accept and believe I wasn't the man I wanted to be. What I mean by that was I was not the guy who was able to take my wife on romantic cruises or take her on romantic dates. I was not the guy who could go horseback riding with my daughter. And I was not the guy who taught my son how to play catch. And that's really been the story of my life. I've really been defined my entire life by my weight. At my highest, I weighed 660 pounds. At that point, I was in such misery that I couldn't even walk without feeling like my hips were going to explode. I had to carry a rag around with me that was just a rag that I kept to dap off the sweat from me because I just was sweating all the time. And what happened to me was that I had really come to the point that I had diabetes. And at that point, my doctor said, you got to have the surgery to lose weight. And I lost weight, and I lost 200 pounds in the first year to 330. But that's when I hit a brick wall, and not a plateau. I hit a brick wall that I could not get past. I could not do anything to lose weight, no matter how many diet programs I tried, no matter how much exercising I tried. I could not lose weight. I was stuck at 330 pounds. So then I was introduced to this incredible product called TSS. And I had tried so many other products and didn't have any success. I just really didn't think it would work. And I was actually had an opportunity to be alone with Ryan. And I asked him, why did you create a product to help people like me lose weight? And I was amazed when he said, you know, Marty, I used to have a really serious weight problem. And I wanted to take my talents and my abilities and put it into a way to really help people like you lose weight. Because what we really have here is a company that's dedicated to not just use the weight loss industry as a marketing tool to make money. They really are a company about solutions, and the solution they provided to me and people like me is something I was so excited about. I had no problem conveying that to other people, and it was because of that we were able to build a business that was strong and big, because we were able to convey with great enthusiasm there's really a company that wants to help
But
us.
y'all, this is incredible. But I'm also on a journey. I've lost over 400 pounds. Woo!
Wow.
Y'all sweet. That will not make me cry.
Look at all our new Beaver Club winners!
We're giving them all away, Ryan.
Well, basically, my story is one of manifestation. I'm a psychic and a medium by trade. About 4 years ago, my life started to fall apart. I was on the the top radio station here in Michigan, and I got moved off of that station. My hours were cut, and I watched my income cut in half every year. For 4 years, I lost my home. So I gained a lot of weight. My blood pressure was completely out of control. My doctor put me on a weight management program. I started changing my diet. I began swimming. And at the same time, I tried the product. We had the ViPack. David came home one day with this box of information, and I said, oh my goodness. And but I took a look at it. I started reading through all the material, and I realized, my goodness, there's something here. Lost between swimming and exercise and the ViPack, I had lost 42 pounds. So I was feeling better, I was making money, and I was beginning to manifest my hopes and dreams. It feels incredible. Well, the greatest thing that's happened for me so far, and there's been many, has been I've been able to move into this incredibly new house. I am no longer in a two-family home, no windows, all closed in, and here I am in this incredible home, a stone's throw away from, well, my very first week with Visalus Sciences. I earned the same amount of money that my mother had been earning after 27 years working for one company. That was a combination of her Social Security and her pension check. I was able to go to my mother, who had been helping me out financially for the last several years, and I was able to look to her and say, Mom, I'm going to be all right. And I am. Look around.
My life before Visalus was so different. I was a very in-the-box thinker. I graduate 4-year college and then go straight into a job and stay for 12 years. So I didn't make change very often. And so it finally got to the point where I realized the quality of my life wasn't what I wanted it to be. And I had a daughter, and I had an opportunity to stay home and take a 2-year sabbatical. And boy, when she came into the picture, it was eye-opening. I wasn't the picture of health when I was introduced to the ViPack. I definitely wasn't in a condition to have the kind of life I was hoping for. So I got on the product and started losing weight and started feeling really good, and it made me just so happy. So in 3 months, I was able to qualify for the BMW and hit regional director. And then 6 months after that, I hit a position finally where I never had to go back to work again. I'd replaced the income that I was living on. That was the moment where I realized it was true, and I made it. And now I'm an ambassador, so now this is really where the fun part comes in, because it's about prosperity.